Getting a head start on college credits and getting hands-on job training while still in high school make the MOSO CAPS program especially unique. Joining me today on Newsmakers is Director of the MOSO CAPS program, Suzanne Hull. Thanks for joining us, Suzanne.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. So let's start with, what is CAPS? What does that stand for?
So CAPS stands for the Center for Advanced Professional Studies, and CAPS programs, there are about 144 of them across the country, and also in India and Canada.
Oh, wow. So it's worldwide practice.
It is worldwide.
That's
yes.
incredible. And when did the CAPS program start, or what's the beginning of process of all this?
So a year ago, this past December, Dr. Van Galen and some others invited me to be a part of a team to explore CAPS. The National CAPS Network is located in Overland Park, Kansas. And so we had a Zoom meeting with them and started that process. At the time, I didn't know I was going to be named the director of the program, but with my K-12 experience and higher ed experience, they felt like I would be a good fit for the directorship.
Because you work closely with high schools.
Correct. Yes, there are 70 CAPS programs in the state of Missouri, and we are the first university in the country to actually host a CAPS program, because typically they're housed in high schools.
Oh, well, that's unique.
Yes.
And so what are our partner schools?
So currently our partner schools are Carl Junction, Webb City, and Seneca. We are also in conversations with a few other school districts as well.
Mm-hmm. And is there a limit to the number of students that can participate in the CAPS program?
So the cap for the program for the first year would be around 120 to 150 students. We currently have probably close to 61 students who will be participating in the program next year.
And is there a reason why a high school, or I guess, is there a reason not to join?
Not really. Really, when you think about the four walls of the classroom, you don't get those experiences with a specific career. So it really takes this learning to a level of true relevance, so that the students will not only be on campus to take coursework that's aligned to the career strand that they choose, but they'll also get that industry partner experience on 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Okay, and so what industry partners do we have?
So the industry partners, we will start securing more industry partners once the students start enrolling in the program, so I know exactly what their interest is. But we have 3 corporate sponsors so far, Liberty Utilities, Arvest, and Mercy Hospital.
Okay. So you got healthcare, banking, and public utilities.
Yes.
And there's jobs of all sorts in all of those.
Absolutely.
And so what does a student's schedule look like in a CAPS program?
So on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, they will be placed with an industry partner to experience that career strand. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they will be on campus taking coursework. We have 3 career strands for the fall, well, actually, for CAPS. We have health sciences, human services, and business marketing and entrepreneurship. Okay. And so students can come at the 8 o'clock session, which is from 8 to 10:30 in the morning, or from noon to 2:30 in the afternoon.
And these students, they're high school juniors, seniors?
Okay. So they're high school juniors and seniors. They need to be on track to graduate on time from their high school, and they need to have at least a 2.5 GPA and provide their own transportation, not only to campus, but also to the industry partner experience.
Okay. And these students that are participating, what do they have other classes at the high school level? This comes first. How does that work?
So they have to work with their guidance counselor to make sure that it's going to fit into their schedule. I know that there's a lot of districts who have been working their schedules so that their students can have the opportunity to participate. So the guidance counselor is really going to be their first visit to make sure that the program's going to work for the student.
Okay. And is MOSO CAPS a trade school or vocational program? Like, how does that work?
So it's not a trade school or a vocational program. Trade schools and vocational schools are very skill specific, whereas the CAPS program is all about the experience. It's about experiential learning, using tools of the trade, working with that industry partner on real world projects, and learning how to fail forward. because we don't always get the right answer the first time we try to complete a project. So it's completely different from a trade school or a VOTEC school.
And kids, they don't always know necessarily. They think they know.
Yes.
But I guess it seems like it'd be pretty smart to try it and see if you like it. Correct. In the real world situation.
Absolutely. I don't know, most adults, they may know what they want to do in life.
Right.
I worked in respiratory therapy at Freeman Hospital for 10 years, and about halfway through I realized I wanted to be a teacher.
Wow. And
came back to Missouri Southern and got my degree in education, and that was a long, long time ago. But I actually, since I've been here at Southern, I've had, a couple of students who get to that final semester and decide, this is not what I want to do. So having the opportunity to experience a career and maybe realizing their junior year, say they're in the human services strand and that's not what they want to do, they can always change and try a different strand the next year. Oh. But those college credits are going to count towards a degree program.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, and then that's like a head start, a jump on your college.
Yes, that is correct.
Well, how does this differ from, say, like a dual credit program?
So it'll be dual enrollment, and so dual enrolled students are on our campus taking the courses from our faculty, whereas a dual credit class, the students are usually taking those classes at high school, and the teachers, the high school teachers who meet those dual credit requirements for teaching would be providing the content to them.
Okay. And so obviously the biggest school in the area is Joplin. Are you guys working to get their students as well? Is there...
Yeah, we have been meeting with the Joplin School Board since September, and they did not vote to allow their students to participate in December. I know there's a push still by patrons of the Joplin School District who really want to see their students participate.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess not just Joplin, but why wouldn't a school district? What would be a hiccup or a reason that they would not? Liability issues, do you know?
It's not a liability issue. I think it really, school boards, they are responsible for making the best decisions for their students, and they have a fiduciary responsibility to their district. So they have to make the decision that's best for their district. And at this point in time, the board has chosen not to participate. But again, there are several board members and other members of the community, I think, that are still asking for their students to participate. Yes, because they had 138 students complete, or it's to say that they would like to participate in the program, and there's only 59 seats that they would have available to them. And so, my biggest concern was not having enough seats for their students to be able to participate. So.
Well, and there probably already have kids enrolled in the dual credit program as well. So this would just be like a little extra step.
Correct, yes.
And what do the business or industry partners, what do they do? What's their role?
So the industry partner role spans a broad spectrum of opportunities. They can obviously host either a team of students or an individual student to work on an industry partner project. They can provide mentorships, so an individual who would mentor a student while they're in the CAPS program. They can also host tours, obviously provide sponsorships for the students. One of the things I find most important is to make this an equitable opportunity for students. And so while the districts are paying a cost per student fee for the students to be in the CAPS program, there's the tuition cost on top of that the students are responsible for. So in order to make that equitable, that's why we have been out looking at securing corporate sponsors to offset that cost of student tuition for the students.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of kids don't have that kind of funding.
Right. And even though it's a reduced cost of $50 per credit hour, I mean, that could still be a lot of money, $150, $200 a semester for a student.
Yeah. And every penny counts,
Absolutely.
especially these days.
Absolutely.
So how does a business or industry become a partner? What's the process?
So they can just simply Google MOSO CAPS, and it should pop right up in Google. And then go to our website, and we have an industry partner form. It's under the tab Engage, and they can become a partner with the program. They can also reach out to me. My email address is hull@mssu.edu.
Okay. And we'll put up a picture or video of the website so they have that. And are there requirements that they have to fulfill?
No, there are no requirements. The students aren't paid, so
Sure.
so there's no worry about wage and labor laws.
Yeah, that was one of my questions.
Yeah, so there's no worry about that. One thing that CAPS programs find across the country is that a lot of these industries, it's their first glimpse of what a student could become a potential future employee of theirs. And so a lot of times they will offer them, potential internship in the summer where they could be paid. But there's no requirements of the industry partner. Obviously, they would need to be able to be available to the students from either 8 to 10:30 or noon to 2:30 on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But other than that, there is no requirements.
And this would be a great way to network.
Absolutely.
With your upcoming, like your workforce.
Yes, it's building social capital for those kids.
And right now there's such a shortage. I don't know if it's people waiting to go into the workforce because they're going to college, or I just don't know where everybody went in the last 2 years.
I know, that's a great question. If only we could have the answer to that.
Right, the crystal ball.
Right, exactly. Well, so the vice president of the Missouri Chamber of Commerce in Jefferson City, they're actually working on a white paper showing the impact that CAPS programs has on how it's a benefit to industry partners in area communities and building that workforce right there within your community.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity.
I just think about how important that would have been for me way back when. I won't tell you
here.
when.
Same here.
But yeah, how great that would have been to network before I even got to college.
Yes.
And I kind of sort of did that and just followed somebody around doing every little job I could think of. And I guess kids could do that too.
Absolutely, and that's just it. So many students don't have that social capital. Maybe they don't have connections within the community and don't know who to reach out to.
Sure.
This is also providing students who may not think they have the capacity to actually come to a college campus, explore that as well, and showing them, because we're going to have a safety net for them. We will be there to support them in their coursework and also their industry partner experience as well.
That's good. And the MOSO CAP students, so are they required to continue their education with Southern once they start this program? How does that work?
We would love to grow our own lions and have them continue their education with Missouri Southern, but that's not necessarily what has to happen.
Sure.
There is a plethora of universities and colleges across the country that will accept CAPS credit.
Oh, okay.
And so area colleges like Pittsburgh State University, Missouri State University, University of Missouri, Kansas City. I could go on and on. University of Oklahoma.
Yeah, you said it's all over the country.
They're all over, and so which provides students with the opportunity to, if Missouri Southern isn't a good fit for them, like I said, I hope it is, but they can go someplace else. In some areas, they don't need a 4-year college degree.
Right.
So an associate's degree would also suffice, or a certificate in an area.
Yeah, I know a kid who he has networked with IT people, and tech comes easy to younger students.
Yeah.
So it's almost like how do you tell them you're required to get a 4-year education, which we would hope they would.
Right.
But sometimes it just comes naturally.
Right. Mr. Drinkwitz, the president of Mercy Hospital, when we were visiting with him, he said that he's really looking for medical coders. And anyway, he's very interested. He's excited to be a partner with the CAPS program. And of course, all 3 strands that we currently have in place could benefit,
Sure.
Mercy Hospital, Freeman, just about any healthcare facility.
And that's really important these days.
Very much so.
They need all the help they can get.
Yes.
And do the credits say they get, 4 credits in this program? Do those credits transfer?
Yes. So again,
Does it have to transfer to a CAPS program
No.
or to a CAPS school?
So it would need to, all the universities and colleges that we have listed on our website, that they will accept the CAPS credit. They will accept that credit. We can't say how they would apply it.
Sure.
But they will accept the CAPS credit.
Okay.
So, and the students would be earning 3 to 4 credits per semester. So by the time they finish, they could have 16 credits towards
Wow.
a degree program.
That wouldn't leave much to go as far as associates.
No,
degree.
exactly. About a year and a half.
Wow.
So.
And there are 3 major courses of study listed on your website. Do those correspond with our partner businesses and industries?
Yes. So when we first started down this path, we looked at what industry needs were, as well as what the needs of our high school students were. And so they mirrored each other very well. And so we were able to identify health sciences, number 1, human services, and business marketing and entrepreneurship. We also have future strands that we'll be looking at: biosciences, computer science, and information technology.
That one for sure.
Yes, and that one we can easily put into the business. If a student is interested in computer science, we can put them into that business strand because it's housed under the College of Business. And then the last strand that we were looking at, engineering technology.
Oh, okay.
So.
And that's very important.
Absolutely.
Well, and there are a lot of professors on campus that they've had real world training and teaching. They're not just out of the book. So that matters too.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's going to be really important for the students to see the connections between what they're learning on Tuesdays and Thursdays and how it applies to that industry partner experience on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yeah, because I swore, I'm like, I'll never use this math. I don't need, and it's like, maybe I do.
Exactly.
I still count 1, 2, 3. I can't add without a calculator. So how many mentors do we have?
So the mentors will come once the students start applying.
Okay.
And so we'll start matching them up once the students, we have the students' names and what they're interested in.
And those mentors, are they from the businesses?
Correct.
The partner businesses?
Yes.
Just like a supervisor or the boss or whatever?
Right. Well, it'll be the actual employees.
Oh, okay.
So, yes. So they'll work side by side with them.
Oh, okay.
And so the industry partners, so Cardinal Scales is also interested in being an industry partner, which we appreciate
big.
that. And like I said, we have others that we're reaching out to currently, but not for sure yeses, which everybody's super excited about this. When I've visited with all the chambers in the area, chambers of commerce, they've been very excited. But the students, they will be working either collaboratively across high schools as a group on an industry partner project, or it could be an individual experience. So it really, those mentors and the industry partners, like I said, once the students apply and we know exactly where their hearts are to experience a career, that's how we'll match them up.
And that can make all the difference in the world as to whether or not they love the job or hate the job.
Absolutely. So something else the students will be doing is a passion project. And so they'll identify a project that could benefit their community or their high school, and they will be working on that over the course of the academic year. And towards the end of the academic year, like last week of April, they will do sort of like Shark Tank and pitch their projects.
That's crazy.
And anyway, they'll pitch their projects, and hopefully we'll be able to find some angel funding so that they can be awarded, whoever wins, to put towards their project, their passion project, to implement it.
Wow. Yep. So they could find a charity or a 501c3. Does it matter what kind of a project it is?
Does not matter, no. And so we'll have somebody who will work with them on this passion project as far as guidance on how to identify what the project is and the steps to completion, and that person will meet with them throughout the course of the academic year as well.
And the sky's the limit.
Oh, absolutely.
Like some of these kids, I always equate it to, I say the TikTok generation, but they want to get it done and do it, and they can learn in a matter of seconds. So
absolutely.
They can do anything.
Right.
That's great. Yeah. And so the person's role in the process, the mentor, and I know you said there's no wage and hour or labor issues. So are there restrictions on how many hours they can work, or is it they have to work at that specified time?
It's going to be during the specified time.
Okay.
Yes. But nothing's to say that they couldn't work for them like in the summers, as I had mentioned, or if they were open after hours.
Okay. So they could always do some time, on a Saturday or Sunday or whatever.
Correct.
Benefits their schedule. And a lot of people learn better when they do hands-on. Do you think that this is going to be a major draw for students so that they can know, instead of sitting in a classroom all day?
Yes, I think as you had mentioned and I mentioned, we may think we know what we want to do as a career, but to be able to experience it, it's sort of like riding a bike. We can watch somebody ride a bike.
Right.
We can watch a video of somebody riding a bike, but until we get on the bike and ride it, we don't know if we're going to enjoy it. So it's really, it's going to be such a benefit for students and for parents. When you think about the money you spend on whether it's a tech degree or a 2-year associate's degree or a 4-year degree, that money being spent, you want that degree to work. And
Sure.
so knowing ahead of time that this is really what you want to do, I mean, that's the ultimate goal.
Well, and I knew in high school I wanted to be in broadcasting. It was a program from a local TV station. They came to school and we went and did news stories, and so it was that hands-on learning that then sparked, a lifelong career.
Yeah.
And for you as an educator, I bet that's really important.
Very much so. Very much so. So I think the sky's the limit for the students' experiences, and we are super excited about all the people who have reached out to us already, who are interested in being a part of the program, whether it's through corporate sponsorships or industry partnerships. And so we're really excited to see how this grows. The programs grow exponentially in other areas, and we have a lot of CAPS programs just in the region.
Oh, okay.
So we're super excited about being the first in the country as a university to host a CAPS program.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Well, actually, it was really interesting because when we first started the conversations with the National CAPS Director, they weren't sure. They're like, how's this going to work? But they are super excited, and I've actually had a few universities reach out to me and say, we've heard you're doing this. How does it work?
I gotcha.
So I think we're going to see this just grow as well.
Yeah, because you would think it would come from the high schools, pushing the students, but this is rather drawing them.
Right, exactly. And it's sort of an expensive program for high schools alone to try to implement, because they would have to hire a director, and then they would have to hire teachers to help. We have strand coordinators that will be working with the students, but and then teaching the content, and then there's just so many components. With health sciences, our 3rd floor of our health sciences building, we have all those simulation labs. And so the students are going to be able to experience, because they can't do surgery, but they can go upstairs, the health sciences building, and experience what it's like to start an IV and, everything. And the high schools don't typically have simulation labs in their buildings. So.
Well, and we have KCU Med school, and they have stuff like that, and that'd be a great partnership. And they love us and we love them. So
and the dental school that they're building as well.
Yes, absolutely.
So we have lots of opportunities for the students. In health sciences, they'll be able to experience respiratory care, radiology, pharmacology, nursing, medicine, dental hygiene.
Yeah, and these aren't low-paying jobs. These are good-paying jobs.
Absolutely. They're career builders for sure. And this program is a resume builder. CAPS students, when they apply to colleges, they get in typically to their number 1 or number 2 spot every time.
Wow.
So it's really exciting.
That's great. And it would seem like, we were talking the workforce shortage, the businesses, they need employees.
Absolutely.
They got to get them from somewhere.
Right.
And I guess you start them young, and that just makes it that much better.
Absolutely, yes. Even in human services with criminal justice, pre-law, teacher education, all those areas are shortage areas. And so knowing those industry partner needs helps us build our program as well.
Well, and what is your goal for, say, ending the first year? Once you get it up and going, what's the goal?
The goal as far as?
What you would deem a success for the program?
I would deem it a success if all the students had great experiences and they recognized whether that career was for them or maybe it should be something different.
I gotcha.
It's all about the student and their learning experience.
And you can't beat it when it comes to, like we said, the hands-on training.
Correct, yeah.
Well, is there anything that I haven't asked you that you think it's important? Like, what if a student goes to a school and their school's not participating, how would they go about getting that? That's one thing I forgot.
Well, they could, my recommendation would be to talk to their parents, and them and their parents could go and visit with the guidance counselor or the high school principal, who could take it up the chain of command. And then they could also visit, with, their school board as well. We're open to private schools as well.
Oh, yeah.
So College Heights and Macaulay, we visited with Thomas Jefferson.
That's awesome.
So, and homeschool students. They just need to reach out to us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just need to reach out and we can visit with them about the logistics.
Well, this is a really exciting program. I'm excited to see how it goes.
Thanks.
We'll come back and visit at the end of next year and see how it was.
We can bring some students.
Oh, that'd be even better.
Yes.
Follow them around on their jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. They can explain to you what they're doing.
Right.
So
thank you so much. I want to thank Suzanne Hull for joining us today to discuss the MOSO CAPS program. This is Newsmakers on KGCS TV from the Ruth Copeland Studios here at Missouri Southern State University. And I'm Bobby Potroff. We'll see you again soon.
Our school system, if you look at it in general, has not changed a whole lot, even over the course of the last century. And in many ways in this country, we have gotten really good at getting kids to fly in formation, and not a great job of getting them to empower themselves to chase after what they really care about.
High school students are so excited about having the opportunity and being given the opportunity to work on something that they treat it differently. And I would also say that a high school student has no fear.
And so if you raise the bar and you expect more from the students, and they will consistently deliver beyond your expectations. And our students do really well when they get out of high school because they have figured out how to navigate a world beyond just their peers.
I think it's really important that they understand that learning doesn't stop, and that it's not a linear path, and sometimes certain things that you follow lead you in other directions.
So we're teaching the process for the students to be able to think and adapt and solve the problems, the real problems as they arise. I keep telling everybody this is just fun and it makes sense, and the kids love it.
With CAPS, it's them realizing that they're capable of more than that. You don't have to stay in your lane. You can work with others, and it shows you that you can do it. You can go beyond words and make an impact. That's pretty big, isn't it?